Welcome everyone to Divine Mother Healing Temple Tuesday. This specific Tuesday that we are gathered is during the Lionsgate portal, and it is very special to me because this will be the last Divine Mother Healing Temple Tuesday that I do from this current location, and it feels incredibly massive. It feels like we are collectively closing the door of one chapter or book of our lives and stepping through this portal into whatever script that is for you particularly. So I'm just going to give everyone a moment to come in and start focusing on your breath, and just allow for any of there's a lot of nervous energy that I'm feeling, and it was sunny out earlier, and I had my last client here at the house that I've been living in, and then it started raining, and it just felt like it was mirroring my feelings. And now the sun is starting to come out. So I pulled a couple of cards for us, and of course we got Master Jesus, forgiveness. You are on the path of light, love, and forgiveness. Father, healing is possible at this time. And Cyrano's, life force. Express your divine passions. Sensual and sexual powers are increased. And the Miriam, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Wow, so 2 on forgiveness. And I feel that forgiveness is where we hold ourselves back, because we feel that when we forgive, we are doing it for others, but it's really for ourselves. And others. It's when you ascend in your level of consciousness, there is no longer a need to hold resentment or defenses against love, because you can see from the perspective where somebody would take a malicious action, or sometimes it's not even malicious, it's just an accident, or they didn't know your boundaries, or they were acting selfishly. It's not always an intentional thing. And what's coming up right now is there's a lot of excuses we've made for holding defenses against love. So today, let's choose to walk through this portal together and step bravely into more of the truth of who we are. So we just start out by coming in and focusing on our breath, feeling into our hearts. Knowing that when we allow ourselves to surrender into love and surrender into allowing God to show us who we truly are, the ego gets very afraid. It gets very wiggly, and a lot of voices come to try to distract you. And we just ask that the ego takes a seat somewhere in the room as a silent witness or observer. And we hold the intention for the ego to see that what once kept us safe is now what is causing our pain. Allowing for the ego to soften, to know that it is no longer needed to participate in the ways that it has been. As we've been perceiving from this level of density and separation, we have wronged and harmed one another, feeling this separation, feeling separated from God, feeling afraid. And so we now allow for a choice to choose love, knowing that there will be moments that come where that fear creeps up. And we hold ourselves as we would hold a scared child that is in pain, allowing for it to feel safe and loved and honored. And we just call upon the presence of the Divine Mother. We call upon her holy presence to show us the true meaning of love. And we witness as she has always been with us, no matter what trials and tribulations we've gone through here in this physical realm of existence. And as we've fallen down and made mistakes and taken actions that were not in alignment with our truth, she has been there, never asking us to change or to be anything specific in order to receive her love. And then in moments when we've gotten out of the way and called upon her assistance or allowed love in, and we felt that holy presence, sometimes getting distracted on the frequency of that presence, desiring for what Jesus calls the party tricks, more than we desire the connection and the truth and the oneness. We forgive ourselves and we forgive all others for all wrongs and harms that we've perceived from this level of separation, knowing that we chose to physically incarnate during this great transition of this planet that may have felt from your level of density to be a living hell. But it has only been our perception that has been flawed. For this earth, this universe, is so sacred. This earth, this Mother Earth, contains seed packets from every other dimension and planet in your solar system. It contains all of the seeds necessary for you to expand and learn and remember. But this consciousness that you experience, this duality, it allows for you to pretend not to remember the truth. It allows for you to pretend to be separated, which you can never be. And so from that level of perception, we have seen how painful it is. But this ability to perceive from this level of density has helped us to remember to remember how amazing it is to awaken and go back home. I think that when we are on other planets and we are in one unified field of consciousness, there is no, it's like you can't know that you love something if you've never gone without it. And although we've felt stuck and stagnant in this density, you can also get to a level of stuck in stagnation in knowing the truth. And so in this moment, we choose to remember our holiness. We choose to surrender the division of the ego illusions. We call upon the truth of our I Am presence to be birthed within us today, knowing that we are all unique expressions of God, Source, Creator. And we are now coming into this Aquarian age where it will not be the one who chooses to remember, but all of the children of this earth will awaken and arise. And so as we start to sink further down into our heart space, just feeling this softening. And we're allowing for the masters and archangels to join us as we are all leveling up. And we invite in the master of all masters. I can't even say invite in because you never leave. The king of this universe who has mastered the hell realms and set it free, knowing now that no one is stuck here, no one is stuck in damnation, and he ascended and mastered heaven, and he has mastered every realm and dimension, and he walks here amongst us once again as the living Christ, teaching you how to remember the truth, showing us how to be divine bliss and love and light, not as a martyr, but as Christ. And I'm just seeing this beautiful violet fire that is lighting up a pathway in front of us. And as we walk through, and all the density is cracking out of my body, allowing yourself to surrender. For those of you that are having trouble surrendering the thoughts, focusing in on your breath, breathing in and out the nose as many times as you desire, at least 10 times, to take us into a theta brainwave state that allows for the analytical mind to take a break. Noticing when the ego wants to run away from divinity. Again, asking it to be a silent observer of this process. So just as a scared child, it can learn today that it is safe to surrender. And as you focus on your breath, seeing this beautiful ball of light that is coming in through your crown and your third eye, dropping into your throat and your heart space and your solar and your sacral and your root, down out your feet, placing it on the bottoms of your feet, allowing for you to feel that magnetic pull that keeps you rooted and grounded in your physical body. And walking through this beautiful violet flame, allowing it to purify your vessel, allowing for any of the stuck or stagnant energy within your mind, body, and emotions to come up and to show what it is. Childhood trauma, anything that you've accepted as your truth that is not in alignment of you being a holy child of God, allowing it to come up now. Remembering that anything that you've experienced from this level of density and perception of separation is an illusion. Surrender it now. Or make a conscious choice to choose to dance in the darkness of the human ego illusions. Whatever you choose is perfect for you. Just do it consciously. Knowing that anything that you experienced from your parents does not belong to you. Don't hold on to it. Anything that you experienced from your relatives or your siblings, feeling different, feeling unloved, unworthy. You were meant to feel that way. If you would have fit in, in an insane world, what would that tell you? And it is not to claim to be better. It is to understand that there was a calling that went out, that the children of earth had fallen so far asleep that they could not even hear as Spirit was guiding them home, saying, "Beloved child, come home." They had fallen too far in density to perceive Spirit any longer. And so you heard that calling and you made a conscious choice to incarnate. And then you came through the veils of illusions and you forgot. You forgot your training. You forgot your divinity. You forgot who you are. So I invite you all now to surrender who you've thought yourself to be, and instead seeing yourself dumping out all that's been in your cup and asking God, source, creator of your soul, to show you the truth of who you are now. And maybe you receive a name or a feeling, whatever it is, or maybe you experience more of the debris and stuckness coming up to be released. Whatever it is perfect. Just allow it. And as that truth is coming into you, if you choose to surrender this illusion that you've perceived yourself to be, I invite you to say with me that you choose with your conscious free will to surrender the ego each and every day until it is an obedient servant to the Master Christ that dwells within you. And we say today that we choose to surrender with our free will the ego I am not, to allow the birth of the truth of the Christ within us. I choose with my free will to become one with the Universal Mother, allowing for my physical vessel to be the embodiment of the Divine Mother on earth, forgiving myself as I fall, if I do, forgiving myself in this moment for doubting, allowing for my actions and words and deeds to be aligned with love, and just allowing that beautiful violet flame to burn away anything that is not in alignment with love. And I'm feeling this Syrian frequency that is pouring into all of our beings. So allowing, it is so interesting. I'm just witnessing that in years past on the Lion's Gate, I have gone to Sirius B through the Great Central Sun and yoked myself and brought it back down to earth. And this year I'm feeling them coming to us. So just allowing for this beautiful Syrian frequency to pour into your embodiment. I'm just seeing like white diamond light pouring into all of our crowns. And I'm seeing Isis and Gaia and Kuan Yin and Mother Mary, and I heard Shekinah, and they are all fractalizing to go to, and they said that isn't even necessary because we are one. The frequency that resonates with your consciousness of the Divine Mother is now being perceived by you, if you choose to allow it. And just allowing for the Divine Mother to appear to you. Feel her now. And she can come as a person or as a feeling, or maybe you feel your heart expanding, feeling her inside of you. Master Jesus is there with each and every one of you. Helping you to surrender more into love, feeling safe and contained. Allowing for all of the defenses to peel away. I'm feeling a lot of density where the wings would be peeling away. And feel if any of your instincts are being triggered. And just placing your hands on your heart and your stomach. And just speaking into your embodiment. Understanding that there is somatic memories that live inside of your body that have believed and perceived to be very unsafe on this planet. Now feeling the safety and the love and the embrace of the Divine Mother. And Divine Father. And just allowing yourself to bathe in this beautiful violet fire. And just feeling inside of your body what is coming up for you. What emotions are coming up. Acknowledging any emotions. Then allowing them to dissolve and resolve. just see them evaporating like water on a hot summer's day. They're just going, gone. Then acknowledging any of the instincts that are coming up. Acknowledging the running instinct, allowing it to gently rebalance. Acknowledging the hiding instinct, allowing it to gently rebalance. Acknowledging the fighting instinct, allowing it to gently rebalance. Acknowledging the vomit instinct, allowing it to gently rebalance. And acknowledging the difference between the running instinct, the hiding instinct, the fighting instinct, the vomit instinct, and any of the other instincts that may be coming up within your embodiment. Feel what your body feels like. Does it want to run, hide, fight, cry, die, surrender? Whatever instinct is coming up, acknowledge it, hold it, love it, allow it to soften and come back to the 0 point of stillness. Allowing yourself to experience what it feels like to feel your embodiment without defenses against love. And as I feel into this myself, I feel shame. So acknowledging the shame, knowing that that is not the truth of who we are. It is an illusion that we've taken on as we've felt separated in this world, felt different. Surrendering the shame, knowing the truth. Clearing the root of that shame. Breathing out. Clearing the shame out of the sacral, clearing any shame that you've carried around your sexual life force energy or anything that you create. It can be a painting, and maybe someone shamed you for the way that you paint or not staying in the lines or something. allowing yourself now to surrender this. Surrendering all the shame around your sexual, sensual energy, feeling that God frequency is a fertile being. Gods and goddesses give birth to all creation on this planet. It is right for you to feel in love with life, for you to walk outside and feel penetrated by the wind and feel that joy, singing sensations through every single cell in your body. It is right for you to hear sound and move. It is right for you to be divinely inspired by all of the beauty that you witness, and for you to share your heart in what it is birthing inside of you, acknowledging all of the parts and pieces of you that have not felt safe to express in that way upon this planet, and surrendering it now. Knowing that they're understanding that we may experience tests by people in our reality that are going to mirror those shames and doubts to us. And it is asking for us to stand in the truth of who we are. It is asking for us to not defend, to not fight, knowing that your truth is your God-given right, and you never have to fight for that truth. And as we learn to express our boundaries, we might be a little forceful at first, as it has taken a lot of courage for us to speak up, as we have been taught that it makes us a good girl or boy to just sacrifice ourselves, to go with the status quo, to just be like everyone else. And so as we honor the God inside of us, as we honor the truth of our divinity, it is going to be a conscious practice and intention to wake up every single day and listen to that still small voice within us, to ask God to show us, to create a beautiful sanctuary inside of our souls, to allow that God source light to blossom, bloom, and flourish. Providing a beautiful, safe container for that God light to be birthed. Just as you would keep your child safe, just as you would nurture your child, we now choose to allow ourselves to provide that same safety, love, and containment to that Christ child that is being born today. Clearing any distortions around our willpower in our solar plexus, breathing out anything that is not aligned with God's will. going up to our heart space and allowing for us to take off all of the armor that we have wore around our heart space. Some of us have had to wear shackles around our ankles, and these layers of density and armor in order to keep a physical body, as we've walked around in this level of density that is so foreign to the truth of our divinity. But remember that we put those shackles and walls of separation on, and we are the chooser. We get to take them off today if we so choose, knowing that we don't need to perceive from this level of density anymore. We don't need to keep ourselves bound in order to consciously choose to stay here. Allowing ourselves to now know and understand that what once kept us safe is now what is causing our pain, and we choose to surrender all defenses we have created against love. Breathing out all of these walls of defenses. Acknowledging that no one has done this to us. Breathing out any distortions around speaking our truth. Allowing for our voice to soften, to no longer need to be so harsh in our delivery. Knowing that we do not need to speak harshly in order to be heard. Knowing that when we perceive attack or betrayal, that we don't need to speak cuttingly or harshly, as our tongues have learned to be a sword upon this planet. We know how to cut with our words. And we forgive ourselves and all others. And we consciously choose to put down that sword, allowing for the truth of our divinity, that beautiful lotus flower inside of our heart space, to blossom more and send that loving energy up to our Christ center, our voice, speaking from that love and divine guidance. surrendering the need to speak at all if it is coming from fear or doubt or perception of separation. Oh, okay, God be with me while I surrender this. Oh. Yeah. Consciously choosing love. Oof. This feels like the biggest surrender right here. Oh. And I think that this is coming up as it's not even mine, it's a collective. But it is individual for me personally. It feels really big. There is a level of illusionary, there's a perceived illusionary safety in speaking from attack thoughts. And so we're just acknowledging that that is not safety. And I am just seeing these snakes being removed from our voice. It does not serve humanity to it does not serve humanity to keep. It's not even swords of truth. I'm hearing all of the illusions that we've perceived for needing this defense and attack words, actions, deeds. Someone recently commented and was talking about how Jesus was mean, and it makes me sad that would even be a thought in consciousness. He was never mean. He is never mean. He is the Prince of Peace, the King of all kings. He showed us that fear is an illusion, that fear creates physical death. And so while we cling to save our lives, we will lose it because we are fearing. It is only when we remember the truth and surrender into that love, knowing that all attack that we perceive to be against us there's nothing that we need to do other than say no, not today. The only time Jesus ever even raised his voice in anger was because people were being hypocrites. Don't claim to be of God and yet only care about the material realm. That is not okay. And it is not okay to hide behind a mask of being a holy person or religion or anything like that and allow yourself to use the Lord's name in vain by preaching fear and casting shame. It is not okay, and it ends today. And all of the children of this planet are now awakening that this is no longer okay. And I invite you all, when you see these incongruencies, to stand up and say it's not okay. You do not need to fight, but you can walk away. As we all stand in this truth and not allowing any more abuses to take place, not raging against, because that is again still defending. It is an aspect of our consciousness that relates in some way to that fractal, and you want to hurt yourself. There is no need for this any longer, now that we know the truth. And so, as it is nearly impossible to walk this human incarnation and be perfectly in alignment with the truth of God every single day, you're gonna slip. There's many illusions to be perceived while our eyes are still seeing and perceiving in duality. And so forgive yourself. It is about the refractory period. It is about how long do you stray? And are you allowing for your actions and intentions to come from this place of wobble, this place of doubt, this place of fear? Are you taking actions to try to save your life? Or are you noticing when you slip and coming back to your center? Forgiving yourself and forgiving all others. Knowing that the how is not your job. It is not your job to know how anything is going to work. Of yourself, you are nothing. Of ourselves, we are nothing. But fragile humans that perceive themselves to be separated from God, that will eventually die. So surrender that false belief and allow for God to show you and remind you and teach you and guide you. And so as we've acknowledged what the resistance was in surrendering this we now know that it will be an everyday unfoldment process. So surrendering all words and deeds and actions that are defenses against love. a bit dizzy. Actualizing, speaking from the truth of our I Am presence, which is a birthing in the soul, in the heart, that receives the divine inspiration that comes from God. As the Father and Mother God meet in your heart space. And oh my God, that's the biggest butterfly I've ever seen in my life. And birth the words, the spoken words that you share with your brothers and sisters and with yourself. Surrendering surrendering our attachment to duality. Surrendering our attachment to what we think that we see. Surrendering living from the outside in, from thinking that we need to do or be or have in order to receive. Then seeing a flame awakening within your third eye. And this awakening of your third eye, it comes out like a little antenna, and as you receive the world, it is like a tuning fork, so to speak, that picks up the frequency of what it is that you're receiving, and it will tell you if it is true or not. You can feel it through your body. And when you are in doubt, just ask for the Divine Mother to show you what is true. And so as we activate this flame, allowing for our eye to be single, and then going up to the crown, clearing out any of the distortions that we have perceived from the human illusions. feeling the truth of the I Am Presence coming into your crown. Awakening you to the truth of your divinity. Feeling that joy, singing sensations moving through every single cell of your body as this beautiful light is awakening all of the souls on earth. Bringing the entire earth plane through this beautiful Lionsgate portal. Allowing for all souls to rise. For all souls to feel the frequency of this download. Inviting in the earth spirits to assist in the awakening and shifting of humanity. And as we invite in the awakening of divine love, allowing it first to be born within us, then our heart space, feeling that merging and that union of the Divine Mother and Father God inside of us. Allowing for us to be that beautiful archetype embodiment of divine love. Very good. And feeling wherever you are on the planet, and just allowing for this beautiful heavenly frequency to pour into your being. Calling in the Earth Guardians of the North to now take your place upon the planet to help in the remembrance upon this planet. Calling in the Earth Guardians of the South, allowing for you to take your place now and assist in the awakening of humanity and the ascension of this planet. Calling in the Earth Guardians of the West, take your place now upon the planet, assisting in the awakening and remembrance of how to live in alignment with Mother Gaia assist humanity in remembering and calling in the Earth Guardians of the South. Take your places now. In the assistance and awakening of humanity, calling in the guardians of the islands, calling all of the light workers who are being guided to places upon the planet, allowing for the Divine Mother and all of the earth spirits to speak louder now. And through this thinning of the veil, this removal of the veil, all of Earth's children will start to hear your words, your guidance, your presence. Assist them in remembering how to live in alignment with divine inspiration and connection to all life. Allow Mother Gaia's voice to be heard like the unstruck sound within our heart space, allowing for her frequency to be remembered upon all of humanity. Allowing for the changes in the earth to come. With grace and ease. Allowing for all of the children who are still perceiving in a level of separation and fear and attack against one another to now feel the presence of the primordial mother, the universal mother, the earth mother. Allowing for them to put their weapons down. For those who still desire to attack one another, allowing for Gaia to, I'm just seeing her opening up and like swallowing them. There will be a rumbling, a warning, and then a choice. And there's no need to fear this. It is just to say not, no more. It ends today. And as you step more into the truth of who you are, you will see and remember that there's nothing to fear. And all heaven rejoices and gives thanks that we have chosen to remember today. And so just feeling all of these light codes that are descending upon humanity, coming into your being, and feeling how your body wants to move and stretch. Allowing for you to move in any way that feels comfortable for you. Thanking this body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, we haven't always treated it well. things we had forgotten. We just apologize and love our body, for it is our temple, our cup in which the truth of God dwells within us. Just as you live differently when you are creating a being inside of you, you now choose to live differently as you know that there is this union of divinity within you. And reminding yourself when you slip into any of the illusions, forgiving yourself and coming back to center. And in front of you, seeing this beautiful rose. This beautiful rose. And in the center of this rose is a portal. And there is an infinity symbol going this way, and then an infinity symbol going up. To make a beautiful cross or ankh. And if you choose to walk through this beautiful, heavenly, sacred portal, this is you choosing to go forward in, it's like an initiation, or, yeah, it's like, they're showing me the, it's like you walking through and becoming a high priest or priestess. And so if you choose this, then just seeing yourself walking inside of this rose. And this is you taking an oath of sorts to walk in this alignment with God, with the truth of your divinity. Not needing to take any specific vows other than a conscious choice to choose love instead of fear, to know the love and light of God that exists within you, speaking from that Christ presence, and sharing that that light and love with all who lives. And so if this is your choice, allowing yourself to walk through this beautiful sacred portal. And as you walk through it, from this, I'm hearing the Holy of Holies, you turn around and you're just beaming that frequency, that knowledge of truth, that way, that light, to the world. Just as the apostles and wow. There's a shaking that is happening here. So just allowing yourself to bathe in that frequency. And if you choose, or if you feel like you're not ready, look at the unworthiness. Look at why you're choosing not to remember the truth. Knowing that it is all valid and allowed for you to choose anything. This is a planet where you get to choose not to remember the truth. Just know that you are holy, you are worthy, you are one with your Creator. And just feeling this heavenly bliss, this frequency within your embodiment. And you can give it a name, this feeling flavor, a name or a color. And just feel it. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to be in this gnosis of truth, of who you are? And once you've identified what this feeling flavor is, so that you can come back to it whenever you forget, see that beautiful light flooding your embodiment, coming down through every single cell of your body, anchoring your God source presence into your root. And seeing this light coming down your legs and out your feet and plugging you into the crystalline core of this earth, feeling rooted and grounded in this physical dimension, allowing for you to be this beautiful portal of light. And as you walk, you anchor this frequency of heaven on earth. And when you start to feel floaty or ungrounded, remember and remind yourself to plug yourself back in to the crystalline core of this earth. Allowing your body 7 days to integrate and wake up to all the beautiful work that we've done here today. Feeling the love of the Divine Mother and Father. Reminding yourself that we are here, we are with you, we are one. And so it is. And just feeling this seat beneath you, coming back to this here and now moment as the sun is shining. Just allowing yourself to integrate and wake up to this beautiful remembrance. I thank you, I love you, I honor you. I honor this this house, for providing us shelter, and this beautiful birthplace of Divine Mother Healing Temple Tuesdays. I see so much in this coming chapter or book, and when I feel it in me now, interesting, it doesn't feel overwhelming now, but it has felt like this overwhelming love that just was making me cry and so emotional last night and earlier today. And I do feel a sadness of sorts, but not a sadness of loss. I feel a sadness that I will now pick up all of the remainder items in this house that are mine and move them over to Jamie's house. I am so excited to embark on this journey with one of my soul tribe members. I appreciate all of you guys for holding space for the fear. I'm not going to claim that as mine, but the fear that has come up in this process. As we've stepped in more and more and like physically started moving, I received some of your donations that all just came in. I don't know if I just hadn't received the notification or what, but 4 donations came in while we were physically moving my stuff into the truck. And I'd only received like maybe 10 donations since I started my channel. So that was like a big sign. And we need to remember that when we surrender and trust and know the truth, that like all things are possible, and we can't even imagine what is possible, like from this small, perception. And so when we surrender and we trust, and we're not foolish, but we trust in these changes that are necessary. And we allow for God to show us. We see the miracles that are possible. So just remind yourself that when you get into, how am I going to do that? And there's so much fear, and, everything came up to say that this was a bad idea. It was wrong. Like now we're getting an eviction notice, and it's coming on the same day that I have to be out of this house, and all of these things to say it was all the ego attempt to try to keep me personally safe by keeping me separated. Like saying like, I don't know if you can handle another person betraying you, but it is not that people have betrayed me. It is that I came in with a frequency of betrayal that is desiring to be healed or surrendered completely. And the moments in my lifetimes and in this life where I've perceived the betrayal and taken it on as reason to put up more walls of defense, the lessons have come more and more intense. And to the point where I get into relationships now, and I start off the conversation with, listen, if you have any mother wounds, they're going to come up. Just understand that, like, don't put me on a pedestal and like worship me like whatever, because I'll fall. I promise you, I will fall. but also if you have any mother wounds, just know that I'm not like, we can heal together, but like I'm gonna trigger them, and I won't even know. Words will come out of my mouth, and you'll all of a sudden you're freaking out. I didn't know that that's what your mother used to, like, it just happens, okay? But I understand it. I understand that these triggers are uprooting the wounds that do not belong to us. And so in those moments, I can choose to go into defense and why are you attacking me? Or I can see it as an opportunity to be the presence of the Divine Mother and to hold space for you to surrender the not self and for you to receive that loving presence that you did not experience from your birth mother. And within me is there's going to be a betrayal that is mirrored through you. And I'm just saying that it will come up. And so when it does, I'm just asking you to not take it as your truth, and for us to walk through this and to heal together, for you to not hold on to anything that is triggered and assume that it is me or assume that it is you. To just know that we are like these beautiful sacred portals that get to experience all of this human illusion through our felt perception, and through us healing and awakening and remembering and processing it through our physical embodiment, that we are igniting the consciousness in all of us with that healing. And so don't be afraid to allow yourself to experience triggers and things that come up. Just know that you are the chooser. And so when it feels so necessary to hold on to your fear, when it feels so necessary to push people away, when it feels so necessary to use that sharp tongue to defend yourself and believe that it is the other person and that you are a victim, just remember that this is how the ego has kept you alive in the past, but it is now what is creating all of the pain that we perceive upon this planet. And so you are the chooser, and you get to choose to surrender that fear and not hold on to whatever is being triggered within you. And choose love instead. Choose healing. Choose to ask to see it different, to see it as God sees it. To not allow people to walk all over you. To know when to say no. To not allow the injustices. To not just watch as horrors are taking place from a perception of fear and attack. To not endorse those things, to turn the news or the movies off that elicit such fear, to notice if you are always reaching out to substances, or that I used to love crime shows, but as I started to become more conscious, I started to notice there was always this like inside of me, and I would just binge watch them, and I'd be like, oh my God. And it's like, why does that feel good? But it becomes an addiction. Those feelings that are not great to feel become an addiction, and your body craves it. So notice when you're around specific people. Like just yesterday, we were in a group meeting. Jamie invited me into her group, and we were having a meeting, and a woman was doing this, and as I kept feeling my energy being pulled and me being drained, and then my thoughts, like I didn't even know what to say when I would go to speak, because I could just feel her pulling my energy. And that makes for a great energy worker. Because when we don't know, when we're not trained, we are energy vampires, and we suck life force energy from people. We don't even know we're doing it. It's the way that we've been trained, so to speak. And I know that in moments like that, before, I would have felt uncomfortable and probably not said anything, and probably just never came back to that group ever again. But I felt it necessary from a place of love, and so I just asked. I said, "I'm sorry. What is your intention for holding up your hand?" And she said, "Oh, I'm sending energy." And I said, "Okay. I understand that might be what you're trying to do, but I'm experiencing it as you're pulling my energy, and it doesn't feel good. And I'm just wondering if you could stop, because it doesn't feel good." And I loved that she stopped, even though, you know, she may have thought that what she was doing was sending energy. That's not the way I was feeling it, and so that's what mattered. And so in those moments, as we start to speak up instead of just allowing for things to happen, sometimes we don't always know. It's kind of like this buildup of energy where it just kind of comes out sometimes, and you're not always graceful. And so just forgive yourself, and then honor however it made the person feel. Like I told her that I was very sorry, and I did not mean to elicit shame or anything like that. It took me a lot to say that out loud, and they all honored it. And so as we start to experience people honoring us as we honor ourselves, we need to rewrite those programs within us that tell us that we're not allowed to say how we truly feel, or we're not allowed to be authentic, or whatever it is. Those programs, those outdated systems that are no longer needed. So I just honor each and every one of you, and I'm not going to stall any longer, even though I know once I turn this off, that work has to begin. But if anybody would like to share what they experienced during this, I would love for you to type it into the chat. I'm seeing... Thank you so much. It's been a while. Needed that. You're the best. Got a notification as soon as I came to take my break. I wish I could stay till the end. Well, good thing that there's a replay. Thanks again. You're so welcome. Hello, Rachel. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kendra. Hello there. I really needed this healing today. Thank you so much. Oh, I just want to... We all did. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Kendra. I love you. You're a beautiful soul. I received that. Thank you. Such a big energy today. Yes, agreed. So anybody want to share what they saw, what they felt, anything before we go? And if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. It really helps, especially when we're bringing through such powerful energy, as this was coming through last night. And Jesus was saying to become the embodiment of what it is that we channel, to walk, to consciously choose to be our God self in our human bodies. It felt like it felt like I just wanted to run. I'm like, oh, that's a lot, and it just like made me cry. And so it felt necessary to like prepare the field and do the energy update last night. And so I know that when we feel these high frequencies and these shifts and stuff, that we can feel afraid. It can trigger our nervous system to want to run away. And so I invite us all to share in what we experience, because just remember like, 20 years ago, if you were growing up, when I would say, oh, Jesus just said this, people would be like, oh yeah, okay, you're talking to, yeah, you talk to Jesus? All right, whatever, you're crazy. Or, getting kicked out of kindergarten for grabbing my teacher's necklace and saying, I love your daddy's necklace. And she's like, how do you know this is my dad's necklace? Like, I'm up to something. I'm 5. Like, what do you think, I'm stalking you? Your dad just told me. My dad's dead. Well, I'm sorry. Like, he just told me. I don't perceive that he's dead. I get kicked out of kindergarten to go sit in the principal's office of like what I'm up to. So just understand that like nowadays we can do that stuff and still we get some resistance sometimes, but it's more it's like my doctor is a Reiki master and she allowed me to do energy work on her to heal her broken foot. Like 20 years ago a doctor would be like, what? Like, what is that? Like some witch, voodoo, whatever. Like, I don't even know. So just know that when we share our experience, it really helps others to know that they're not crazy. And as we're starting to flip the lights on and see that we have been in this upside down illusion, reality, whatever, it can feel like we're crazy. So sharing our experience really helps others come out. Okay, and so I still plan to join with you guys next week. I will be in the new house, and I'm going to invite Jamie to join me. I don't know if she will, but I'm going to invite her too, and we shall see what comes through next week. I just would really invite you all to sit and listen, and I see, we're all being flooded with these light codes, and so really tune in to what's being asked of you and what's birthing within your heart space, and trust and surrender and follow that guidance, and know that like the whole entire universe is supporting us of closing this one chapter book and stepping into this higher frequency that is more in alignment with the truth of our I Am presence. So I love you all, and know that I am with you. Call upon any of the Divine Mothers whenever you need assistance, and also go connect with Gaia. She is so abundant and has so much knowledge and wisdom to share with all of us. All right, I love you guys.